Where's Rikki?
You lost your minion.
I have lost him. Dun dun. Oh, hi, Rikki. What are you doing in staff only?
What? What's going on here?
I think a reunion. It's good to see you again, Rikki. It's a reunion. we only travel with each other every other week. Yeah, go. Bring your ukulele up here and play a number for these fine people who came to see you. Now! Wow, these are the heaviest chairs I've ever... What? Yeah, probably. It'd be for the best. It would be for the best if you left, Rikki. Bye, Rikki. Wait, I'll introduce you, Rikki. Hold on.
This is our panel. We're supposed to do this.
Yeah, I'll introduce you. Why don't you go back and I'll introduce you. No, go away. Go away. Go out the door. Close the door. Walk 10 feet to your left. So how you guys doing today? Good. You want to meet Gert? Yeah. Nah. He's waiting there. Ladies and gentlemen, put your paws together for... Rikki! Ricardo!
Oh, I love Rikki.
Rikki Stockton, ladies and gentlemen, the voice of Gert. Come on in, Rikki. I feel like we're at SeaWorld. You can come up now.
What?
I said I feel like we're at SeaWorld.
Oh, should we get some fish?
Yeah. No, the ones in your pocket will be enough. Get up here. Hey, welcome to our reunion. I just saw you 2 seconds ago.
Remember that one time?
No? So, what's going on? Good, good. That's my bag. Oh. And my iPod was in it. Oh, is this your ukulele? Guys want to hear Rikki do a ukulele number? Yeah! He's just learning, so it'll take a long time, but it will play one song within an hour. Ready? Ready?
It's so neat.
Yeah, good. I'll sing for you. Do. Do. Hava Nagila. Was that Hava Nagila you're playing? What are you playing? Let's see what you're playing. Go ahead. Let's play Name That Tune. Songs about rainbows and what's on the other side. Those are visions. And yeah, let's sing it. So welcome to the Invader Zim Reunion panel, where we have reunited for not 1, but 50 times now. We flew.
One time we reunited in the bathroom.
Did you do mine?
I don't think that's not even worth saying into the mic. You want a mic. So Rikki got his luggage, in case you were following the drama.
I was worried. I got to change my clothes today.
Unfortunately, he didn't bathe before he changed the clothes, so...
There's no point, they're just going to lose my luggage again.
I love the fact that it arrived last night at 12:15 in the morning, and we had to check out this morning.
Yeah. But, you know, it's fine. I totally understand. The airport is busy, and mine's just one bag amongst many others.
I think he's afraid of the TSA.
I should.
Everything's gonna be fine when I travel.
I should write a letter and apologize to American Airlines that they had to work so hard.
To find your luggage, yes. You paid $25 to have them.
I know.
Luggage.
I should have been known that I would mess things up for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry,
I don't understand
America.
your reunion jabber. So who's got questions? Line up at this mic if you do. If not, we'll see you next year. Hi, Mike. Come on up. Come on. on up to the mic, Mike. Everyone line up behind Mike. Hey, Mike. That's Mike.
Did they refund your baggage fee?
No. Yeah, well, you know what they said? They told him to fill out a form.
Wrong.
Good question, Mike. Well, we can do this the easy way then. Here's the answer. It's hard to choose our
Play some Skinner.
Play some Skinner? I can play Skinner.
Go for it.
Yes!
He's gonna slide on his knees.
If I were to leave today, free birds, that's a good one. Free bird, flip you the bird. Free bird.
There's a lot of birds in the song.
There's a lot of birds.
What kind of birds?
Ready for this one?
He says free bird.
I'm gonna do this one
A lot
for
of
you.
different kinds of birds.
Sweet home Alabama. Turn it up.
Can you do Crazy Train?
Crazy train
Tiptoe through the tulips.
with a lot of crazy birds. A lot of crazy free birds. Tiptoe through the tulips.
Yes.
I don't know the lyrics.
Through the tulips. Miss Vicky. That was it.
That's
From
his
Miss
wife.
Vicky.
Yeah,
That was it.
Miss Vicky.
Hi. Have you a question, or are you just serving a iPad pizza?
I've had pizza.
All right.
$300.
Yeah, $300.
Actually, I'm recording you at this very moment, so be funny.
Okay. A pirate walks into a bar with his steering wheel sticking out of his fly. The bartender says, "Hey, you have a steering wheel sticking out of your fly." And the pirate says, "Arg, it's driving me nuts."
No reaction, I'm sorry.
Arg, it's driving me nuts. He means his testicles.
We have children here. We have children here.
And if there are any boy children here, they have them too.
You used to be on Nickelodeon. That's probably why you guys were canceled.
Ooh. Let's go boo on 3. 1, 2, 3. Boo! Say it louder. There you go. Now, go ahead. What is your question? And make it a good one, or we will not answer.
I'll answer.
All right, make it.
Apparently he likes me.
He doesn't.
It's a good hat.
He likes you.
Like bucket hats.
So my question does relate to the series being...
Well, the other version, that's 1920.
It's called a clue hat.
Yeah, see.
It's a bucket hat.
But the version
Bucket
is
hat.
called a bucket hat.
Got it. All right.
I'm not going to do the Charleston.
Good.
Okay, moving on. My question does relate to the cancellation of the series. When you heard it was canceled, what was your initial reaction to it?
Tears.
My initial reaction was, that sucks. I mean, it was not a happy reaction.
Were you surprised or...
Yes and no. We were surprised because it was ended abruptly.
I'm like hoping. I said it's an Animal House. I was hoping.
Soundtrack.
No, give me that. No, give me it. I want to play something.
You're gonna pee it in
I'm going to pee it. Do clowns pee confetti? Yeah.
His urologist wants to know.
His urologist, Dr. Bozo. We weren't happy about it. Our reaction was, well, really? Why? No answer.
I was actually writing a script for an episode. I'd been, I told I could.
He was writing a script.
And so I was like writing it with Eric Trueheart, one of the writers, we're all laughing, we're like, and then they told us, and then we went and closed our laptops and we cried.
It sucked.
and then I killed myself.
But you got better.
I got
He got better. He's now a zombie.
I'm like ghosts. Zombies don't exist.
I like that commercial with the telephone where the guy's a zombie and he wants to know if he ever his ear falls off. That's a zombie.
Thank you.
I like as he goes, cool, 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 yeah. You know what I mean? When he goes, cool, cool, cool.
Yeah.
I know this person. I saw you this morning. Yes. Yes, I saw both of you.
Here, I'll just do it.
Perfect.
Can you talk like girl number 1? Number 2, do you like tacos?
Speak like girl number 3.
It depends on the kind of taco. Okay. If
Fancy tacos.
If it's like Taco Bell.
What if it's a ukulele?
Oh. Del Taco. Oh.
Candy tacos?
Maybe like a fish taco. You know something. With the what?
Candy tacos.
They make candy tacos.
Well, yeah, they do actually.
I like candy cigarettes.
They're not candy cigarettes, you just eat your cigarettes. You don't even like them, just eat them.
Is that what? Oh, I thought they were kind of
It's
bitter.
really bad for you. Really.
You want to talk like her? Like,
Yeah, like her.
like, why is your head so big? No, really, seriously, what's wrong?
No, really do. Now do grr.
Oh.
Through the tulips. Free bird, free bird. You gotta have a bird, you gotta set it free. Turn it up.
Wide on my knees.
Sweet home Alabama. In Muscle Shoals, they love the governor. Boo, boo, boo. Now we all
Did you live in a
okay.
place called Muscle Shores?
Obviously,
It's in Jersey.
it's Muscle Shoals.
Oh.
It's not Muscle Shoals.
So, do you live in New Jersey? Are you from New Jersey?
my dad.
I went there once. Everybody looked like Andrew Dice Clay. It was like the Emperor from Star Wars had like used Andrew Dice Clay for his clone army.
Okay, I wanted to know if you guys could do like some Zim and
And the people were naked, but you could
Some
see leather.
Zimmer dialogue? Yeah, we can do some Zimmer dialogue. Ready? Hey, Gur, why was there bacon in the sauce? Hey, Gur, we just fixed the earth.
We got canceled! Woo!
Hey, ride the piggy, Gur, ride the piggy. Oh, I got an email. It is from someone that calls herself Bucket Hat. Stop saying things that will offend little children. Bucket Hat! Or you will be canceled again. Bucket Hat!
Next question? Yeah, well, yeah, hi.
Can you sing the Doom song?
It's 6 months long.
We're all here. We have no lives. Just go for it.
I'll do a short version. It goes, how does it go? Do the lyrics.
The lyrics, I believe, are tune, tune, tune. And then drool. I was drooling. Girl, must you sing that song?
Ian.
Yeah. It's Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca.
Hello, Richard.
How are you?
I'm good.
Rebecca has come to Invader DoomCon, which was out in Los Angeles, and she is going to attend Austin Final Doom of Poop of Doom. Are we going to that? We're going to Poop of Doom. Poop of Doom.
We should go to that. We should really go to that.
We should try. We should make plans to go there. It is. We'll reunite.
Really?
We'll reunite. My
They let me in the
play
building
that
this time.
infernal thing. I'm going to call American Airlines and ask them, can they lose your luggage again? What is it, Rebecca?
All right, I
It's weird
have
that
one
every time I
question for
called
Rikki and
them
one
about my
question
luggage,
for
you
Richard.
answered.
American
Sorry,
Airlines,
yes,
how may I help you?
Okay, Rikki, how often do you play that ukulele? Just curious.
At least an hour or two every day.
And define play. An hour or two. That's for 12 hours he's been playing that now.
I just got it last night. What are you talking about? I didn't have it for 2 days. Actually, I felt weird because my callus was going.
I'm sure you found something for your counts.
And for Richard, I know you've done
So
some
devoted.
plays and stuff. What all have you done for plays?
For plays?
Yeah.
He does plays.
I do a lot of plays. I started out in musical theater. I was in Oliver. Thank you. I worked with an actor from many, many years ago by the name of Dick Shawn, who was in a movie called The Producers with Gene Wilder and Zero Mostel. He played a character named LSD. And you know what? I will not break the ukulele. I will cut your fingers off. I do a lot of Jeffrey Hatcher plays. And I did a show called The Psychic at Gary Marshall's Theater.
You didn't play where you
Johnny.
played 7 characters.
I played 7 characters at once. It was a two-person show, and I played 7 characters at once. It was a lot of fun. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rebecca. Hi, Jacob.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good.
We have stocked the audience with all of our friends. It's like a lake with stocked fish. It's with fish today, Rikki. Go ahead, Jacob.
I want to go beyond Invader Zim. What was your favorite?
Gee, that's a hard one to say because I gave my love a cherry. Thank you. It's from Animal House. She comes down the stairs. A beatnik is going, I gave my love a cherry. And the girls are all, that had no stone. And he takes the guitar and he just smashes it against the wall.
Oh, this is
And then he hands it back to him.
him.
Well, again, I won't need as big a wall. But it's hard to choose which one is my favorite because there's so much of myself in all the characters, and each one represents like a different time in my life, or if I were doing them all at once, I kind of went into that world for that time. So I really can't choose my favorite. It'd be like choosing my favorite kid, which would be easier, but I'll leave it at that. I would eat probably the third one. No, Jake's too tall and he's lean. Fat on my. Thank you, Jacob. Hello.
Hi,
What's your name?
my name is Sebastian.
Hello, Sebastian.
I have to ask.
Sebastian?
What?
Sebastian Bach, Rikki. Maybe he could teach you to play that. All right.
If you were in Mortal Kombat, what would your finisher be?
My fists.
Crying.
Pooping. I will finish you with my poop of doom. Everyone will be like, "Oh, that's awful! Run!"
What?
D, I know you have a question.
I do.
Here's D, everybody.
Hey, how's it going?
He's going to go to college and major in journalism. He's a senior in high school this year.
So my question is not as fun as everybody else's. When you guys were actually working together on the show before it got canceled, did you guys were you guys in the same room when you were doing your voice acting and had like interaction, or was it like
Yes.
this is your script?
It was called a radio record, so all of us were together, except I was in a separate booth within the booth because
He farts tears.
I'm doing it right now. It's only after I've eaten despair, though.
Yeah, but I found that out the hard way when I was talking to him a little earlier.
Yeah. Well, we are all together in the room, and I was in a separate booth because my Zim yells so much. They didn't want that to bleed over into the other microphones.
Well, that answered my next question. I was going to ask, because there's so much yelling involved, if you guys were all in the same room, did did the other cast members like? 'Cause
Get
I know
eggs?
Gur screams a lot too. So did they do some of his separate also?
Well, usually if there was a lot of screaming, that kind of stuff, it was just he and I. So
Okay.
Then when it's just dialogue, then it would be Melissa and he and I. And
Want to hear my imitation of Dib?
yeah.
That would be really cool.
Not this time, Zim!
It was close. It was close.
Not this time, Zim!
Hi.
Hi, I met you yesterday.
Yes.
What's your name?
Kobe.
Cody.
Kobe.
No, I said Cody. Cody.
Are there particular, I don't know if you remember this at all, but are there particular, moments or lines that you remember recording for any particular reason?
Yeah, I like when Zim comes into the room on career day and he's just been to the bathroom and he comes in and he says, "My business is done." I still say that.
I remember when we did the episode where Gur comes to the house, and I had to go, "Burrito!" And it's much louder than that.
I like when you say, "Do a little dance."
My lungs started to collapse because I didn't realize I had walking pneumonia. So that hurt.
You would think
But they
his
kept-
lungs would have walked
They
right
kept
out of there.
recording, so you can listen to that. You can hear me dying.
Sort of like when he plays the ukulele.
Thank you.
Yes. Anything that resembles a song. Just there we go. Okay, good. Now you got something going. Now what? Here comes Dee again. Yes, Dee.
I had a question.
And you forgot it between there and here?
I was going to ask you this question, but as I was walking, I was focusing on not falling because people were watching me. And then I forgot the question.
Why don't you go back to the seat, see if you can remember, then walk back and think about not tripping.
That's a lot of walking.
That's a lot of walking.
All right, I'll be back.
Goodbye, Dee. Good question. Yay, it's Rebecca again. Oh, look, here Danielle's getting in line too.
So,
Remember anybody's name?
That's because you're busy with your ukulele.
so how did you guys start into voice acting in the first place?
Story.
I would like to say that I have some great story that I was discovered at a pharmacy in a tight sweater monitor, but he was. Basically, I had a commercial agent that shared an office with a voiceover agency, and I knew nothing about voiceover. And this is over 25 years ago, and someone said, "Well, you have an interesting voice. Why don't you get into voiceover?" I'm like, "Okay." So I walked over to the agent, I said I want to do voiceover, and she said, "Well, you're gonna need a demo reel." Back then it was these reel-to-reel tapes. So I went and I made a demo reel, and I gave it to her, and she listened, and she goes, "Yeah, it's really good. We don't have a sound like yours, so we'd like you to continue studying and taking voiceover lessons and stuff." I said, and that first month I booked 3 radio spots, and I said, "Oh, this is great," and then I never worked again for the rest of the year. So I started studying, and that helped a lot. Improv classes and sketch comedy and acting classes.
Acting.
I started acting when I was 10.
Yeah, but what did you do? What was the first?
Oh, commercials. I was a hand model. It's true.
How did you get that gig?
With my hands.
You walk up to a guy and go, "Ah!"
Yeah. Hey, I'm 10 and I'm married.
That's weird.
I know.
It's from Utah.
Yeah. And so that's how I got into it. But like a lot of people, the way you get into it is voiceover. I got another email. No, voice classes. Take voiceover workshops. There's a lot that come from LA to other places in the country, and there's also regional agencies all over the Midwest. The North, the South. They have regional things, and that's a good way to start.
Okay.
Yes. Good question, Rebecca. Hi, Danielle.
Will my question be as good? I don't know. So I was wondering, with all the yelling that you guys did you ever have voice problems? Did you ever come up against having vocal
Yes.
issues? How did you deal with those?
I got over the phone,
Yeah.
I had a larynx transplant. No, I didn't.
No.
What I did was when we recorded Zim, because I was doing Zim and Billy. I was doing Billy and Zim on the same day, so that was really, really hard on my vocal cords. And then
You put it under the table, so you can.
no, I can hear it. Oh, I can hear it. And then in the booth, I would drink literally 6 bottles of water for every 11-minute script. So if we did 2 11-minute scripts, I drank like a 12-pack of water and tea. And then I stayed away from like really loud restaurants or really loud places.
Having to talk.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
You got it. Good question, Danielle. State your name.
It's Beth.
You must bring me the broom of the Wicked Witch of the West. I don't know. Kill some time.
My question is, was there anything in Zim that disturbed you guys?
Rikki,
quite a
Rikki
few-
disturbs me all the time.
Was there
Especially with
quite a
that
few
darn ukulele.
things?
No.
Yeah.
The darker the better for me. I like Dark Harvest. That was one of my favorites when he's like just harvesting the organs. One of my favorite moments of the whole thing is when he's sitting in the principal's office and he's just like a big mountain with an intestine hanging out of his mouth. And he just says, "You speak crazy talk, Earth boy," and then the intestine falls out and he just goes. I love those moments.
Yeah, like stuff like from the actual script, like he just described, or things that you got there and you went like, that bug on that leaf is disturbing.
Like things in the script.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was also a background painter on the show, so every time we got a new script, I would pack up everything.
That disturbed me when he would pack up everything. That was dark.
I just figured we were going to be
Very
fired.
dark.
Thank you.
That's good. I didn't even know I did that. I threw my voice, Rikki. Did you see that?
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Ian Christopher, and I have two really quick questions. One,
Go.
I wanted to ask.
Start with the second one.
Okay. Are your voices amplified in any way or modified?
Are they
in
processed,
Zim?
you mean?
In Zim.
In Zim.
Mine is for Gur. They pitch it up, but that's all they do to it. For they just leave that the same. So I sound more like a giant big man.
Mine was processed in the first couple of episodes, and then after that, it wasn't processed anymore. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. And then
Andy's
for Angry Beavers.
And Andy's it.
Excuse me. For Angry Beavers, how much of that was improvised?
A lot. We had a really cool creator of the show, Mitch Shower, and Nick Mackay, who was Norbert. He was a comedian.
He just didn't know how to write.
He didn't know how to write. So Nick Mackay, who was a comedian, or is a comedian, he also was a producer on not only Sabrina the Teenage Witch, where he was the voice of Salem the Cat, but he was also a consulting producer on King of Queens. He was funny by nature. We had an improv background, so we did one full record in 20 minutes, one take, because that's what we wanted to do that week. And what was great about it was that Nick and I knew each other well enough that we could give and take, but the reason that Mitch liked it was because we were the first show, if you notice, we were the first show, especially at Nickelodeon, that allowed overlaps. So like when Norbert would talk, you would hear me talk over him. And Mitch wanted that because he wanted to seem more like brothers. So that's when we started into improv a lot.
Wow. Well, thank you.
You bet, thank you. Hi, Mom.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Rebecca Smither.
I know.
She got tired of coming up here, so she made
So
me
she
come.
gave you the,
Yeah,
she
she's
sent
like,
you a note?
Yeah, yeah.
Go
no,
ask this.
she's like, no, go ask your own
She
questions.
sent a homing pigeon?
Yeah. 2 questions for you. I'm a very big fan of Warner Brothers, which, of course, Mel Blanc is, to me, the king of voiceover.
Who?
He's kind of like this unknown discovered. Yeah. 2 questions. One, in your opinion, who is probably, besides Mel Blanc, who are you fan of voiceover actors? And 2, with the bigger movies now, Disney, cartoons, all these, they tend to get a lot of the better known people to do voices.
Bigger names.
Bigger names, and I think
Expensive people.
exactly. And in my opinion, that's kind of more just to draw people to the movie.
Absolutely. It's show business.
Yeah, yeah. What are your feelings toward that as well? As voiceover actors, do you feel that they should get more people that are really trained to do the voices rather than bringing in Brad Pitt to do a voice who sounds like Brad Pitt?
To the first part of your question, I was never like a huge voiceover guy. You know, when I grew up, I wasn't like, I just liked Speed Racer. That's what I watched. And so I never even really paid attention to the voices. For all I knew, Shaggy was Shaggy. I didn't know it was Casey Kasem.
Yeah.
And so to say, like, who do I think is the best? I get to work with some of the best in the business. Billy West, Rob Paulson, who's here.
We met.
Jess Harnell, Tom Kenny, all of them. Great Lyle, Tara Strong. They're all, we all get to work together over Phil Lamar, Kevin Mike Richardson. I mean, it's hard to say who I think is because, if you think about it, back then, you either watched Tom and Jerry, which didn't have any voices, or you watched Warner Brothers or Flintstones, or Hanna-Barbera. It was Hanna-Barbera.
That would be my answer though, is the first voice that I really was obsessed with was Tom's because of his screams.
Well, when it's your turn to answer, you can say.
But you stole it.
I wasn't done.
You stole it. You read my mind.
I will not reunite with you again.
Stole it.
You have
And
to.
so
We've
am I.
already got tickets for last time.
All right, that's excellent. Tell them. So the thing is that there weren't a lot of voices back then. I mean, there weren't.
Right.
Joan Foray, obviously is up there with Mel Blanc.
Right.
But I liked a lot of the Hanna-Barbera voices growing up. As far as the second part of your question, it's the fact of the matter is that a lot of animation these days, we're in this phase of natural. Like, we want just to hear people's normal voices, like all the, two-person character stuff. Adventure Time with Rikki, it's like their voices are just their normal voices.
Right.
That's a big thing now.
That's a big thing now. But I don't have a problem with it, and I'll tell you why. Because I understand that it's a business, and I understand that it's about making money for the companies. And if you can make money that way, I don't fault anyone. Same way I don't fault sports figures for making as much as they can. It's a free market. I'm all for it. The other thing is that these shows that become hits, like Cars and all these other ones, those big name celebrities aren't going to do all the jobs. So it creates a cottage industry for the rest of us. They're not going to do the toys. They're not going to do the TV series.
So they imitate.
So, there's people that do voice matching, which I don't really like to do. I don't do voice matching. But what it does do is it creates other characters in like a TV series. And so, we'll need a new character for this and a new character for that because now we have to do 45 episodes versus an hour and a half movie.
Right.
So that creates more jobs.
Okay.
So anything that creates more jobs, I'm in favor of in any business.
Yeah, I never thought about
Gas
that. Yeah.
stations, yeah. Gas stations create more jobs.
They just don't pay.
Ukulele makers, unfortunately, create more jobs.
Ukulele players, though. I kind of wonder. Yeah.
Because that's a cool thing to play the ukulele. It's like if you someone like Jimmy Page plays ukulele.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Hendrix.
Oh, and Stephen Van Zandt plays
Yeah.
ukulele. He plays mandolin. And Rikki.
Dancing.
Yes.
Well,
exactly.
mandolin's part of it. It has 12 strings.
Right. You can only count up to 4.
Thank you both so
You
much.
bet. Good question. This is Kobe.
I was trying to fix the microphone. Do you have any stories of do either of you have any stories of going to a con and meeting a fan who was maybe just a little bit too excited to meet you?
One of them exploded. That was just gross. We've had a lot of that. One of them bit Rikki.
Yeah.
Literally.
In Florida, I got bitten on the wrist by a fan while I was signing an autograph for her.
And would not let go.
She wouldn't let go. I don't know what her problem was.
People often come up to us and ask, because they'll have like a sleeve of Invader Zim tattoo.
Yeah.
So, and they'll say, can you sign right here because we want to tattoo your autograph here. And Rikki says,
Oh, well, just don't get serial killed because they'll think I signed my work.
Well, this one's dead too. Look, he signed it. He signs his stabs.
And if they find him in like a bathtub full of milk, bananas, and cornflakes, they'll say it was a serial murder.
Yeah. Why do it?
Yeah. Arg, it's driving me nuts.
I still think that the Riddler should should be on like a downswing, like he's depressed, and he's just doing stuff like, what's black and white and red all over Batman?
It's Boy Wonder, a newspaper. I loved how Robin always knew the answer right away. He never went, he's like, a newspaper. Right you are, Boy Wonder. What is the hypotenuse of triangle of something else? 3! Right, Boy Wonder.
He was Boy Wonder, yeah.
He was Boy Wonder.
Yeah.
But that was a Boy Wonder because he was a Boy Wonder because he was a gymnast. He was a trapeze artist, yeah.
So why was
He was
brain
like a
good?
flying bull.
Why was his brain good then? Did he like...
Because he shook it up a lot.
Oh, I never thought about that, because I'm stupid.
That's because you shake babies. Good question. Any more?
Nah.
Okay.
Billy and Mandy is one of my favorite shows.
Yay! Thank you.
I was just wondering. I was just wondering how it was like to work on Billy and Mandy, and how was it like to be Billy, and also could you do a little more Billy for me?
Destroy a dog! Destroy a dog! I loved working on Billy and Mandy. That was a blast. I had a lot of great friends on that. A lot of great people. People who didn't bring ukuleles in. Annoy me. So that was fun. That was fun.
Thank you.
If a cheeseburger and a burrito got into a fight, which one would win?
The elephant. Thought you'd fool me on that one, didn't you? Hi, Sarah. This is Sarah, everybody. She's my helper this weekend.
Also known as Mrs. Horvitz.
Yeah, everyone thinks she's my wife. She's 15. No, yeah, 15, right? Yes.
Okay, so in Billy and Mandy or Invader Zim, was there ever like a scene that was so ridiculous to you, you couldn't shoot it because you were laughing so hard? Or someone else was laughing and you started laughing?
First time I did Bloaty, Jonan laughed. Like, extremely hard. I was afraid I killed him.
I like the Nuggum scenes with a baby that talked like this. I like that a lot. But the funny thing is that we would be scheduled to use the studio for like 4 hours, and we would go like 5 or 6 hours because the stuff we were doing off the script, like the stuff we were just joking about, we were laughing so hard because we couldn't get to our job, is what I was saying, right?
Yeah, they probably didn't like that.
We had this one tangent I went off on. What was it called? Alley.
Oh, Temptation Alley.
Temptation Alley. There was a woman, because the beginning of reality TV was really hitting big back then, so I came up with this thing called Temptation Alley. And it's just a real long alley. And in the middle of the alley is this like flea-bitten, stained, dirty, filthy mattress with a hobo on it. And we had this writer on our show. Her name was Danielle Koenig, who was Walter Koenig from Star Trek's daughter. And we would go, Danielle Koenig. She starts at one end of the alley and has to walk all the way down to the other end of the alley without stopping to lay down on the mattress. Can she do it?
Can she do it?
Can she do it?
Will
And we
she
would
lay
go
down?
on and on, and we would
Filthy
go, the filthy hobo. Will she eat the sandwich crumbs in his beard? And it would just go on and on and on, and we would go. We could not record. And then, yeah, she did make it through the alley.
She was good.
And then we got on this kick about Yoda, where Yoda is like,
You got it.
I got a kick about Yoda. It drove Yoda crazy because we went to lunch afterwards and he was going nuts. But I always believe that, Yoda.
The idea is that he's not really actually good at the Force.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the Master Yoda. He's supposed to be the Master Jedi. And yet, every time he goes,
No, Master Yoda.
there is a disturbance in the
Do you
Force.
know who the Dark Lord is? Yoda.
Cloudy.
Do you want a pizza?
Cloudy.
Do you remember my car keys? Right?
Cloudy. Cloudy. So everything was always cloudy for Yoda. I mean, the Emperor was standing right next to him right in the room. how are you? You know, it's like, ooh, I wonder who the emperor is. It always drove me
He's not
nuts.
good at his job.
He's not really good
He
at
had
his
one
job.
job and he
Yeah.
sucked at it.
He sucked. Ooh, Whippy, he can lift the starfighter out of it.
Technically, he just has one job: be the master of the force.
And he was not good.
Yeah.
So every time we would go out, I would go, howdy! Howdy! You tried to be there, Sarah. Okay.
Have any of you seen Bram Stoker's Dracula, starring Gary Oldman? Richard can do a really good imitation of his favorite scene.
Nina, I have crossed oceans of... time.
He was eating a lot of dirt.
Yeah, because he's like stuffed in dirt. He's like, Nina, I have crossed oceans of time.
A lot of irony in his
A
stuff.
lot of money. A lot of money. He had to be constipated after all those years, right?
Yeah, and they're burying
Why did it
him.
take so many years to get across the ocean in a box of dirt? Yeah. Good question, Sarah. Hi, Jacob.
Yeah. My question is what was it like being chaos?
Chaos? It was like Zim. It's a lot of fun. I love the Skylanders games. I play them. So I have a lot of fun. They give me a lot of free reign on this.
And always you have a minion who's actually smarter than you thought.
Exactly. I carry him around in his pocket. Rikki carries his wife around in his pocket. Her name's Tavisha. And like when he puts her down, we get to a convention. She's like, yeah. She's like, right. Go, Ultra PP! Go, go,
Like, yes, Jessica. Fine.
Yes.
Hi, my name's Mike.
Hi, Mike.
I grew up and my favorite cartoons were Invader Zim and Angry Beavers. I was just throwing this out there. If Nickelodeon wants to make like trillions of dollars, they should have a crossover where Zim is finally about to destroy the world, but the Angry Beavers have to stop him.
Muscular beaver, whoosh! Hey, what is this, muscular beaver? Spooky alien.
So,
you smell like a beaver.
You should throw that out to Nickelodeon sometime.
Smell like a beaver! Then Justin Bieber just shows up. We said beaver! Oh, sorry. Thought you were a believer. Hey, Spooty singer. Spooty believer.
You have killed the actor.
Beaver, beaver, beaver fever. Beaver fever. What was that? Who in here is with the NSA? Ah. Yes. You smell like me. Free bird. Bring it around.
Playing you up, son.
You're the only one that has theme music when you walk up.
Okay, so,
Boom. Well, since my baby left me. Well, since 1, 5, 6, 7. Well, since my baby left me. Found a new place to dwell. It's down at the end of Lonely Street. It's heartbreak. Every time I do Elvis, I think it sounds more like Cher. She's tramping me. If I could turn back time, if I could find a way. I was born in the wagon of a traveling morning show.
No, you weren't.
Got the lady laughed and dancing with the candles one by one.
No one wants any candles.
You were born in Fresno.
But then I moved to the valley with my family. Go ahead.
Okay, so this was a random thought. Fine, you get no chocolate. Be that way.
Chocolate? No chocolate. She's half eaten the chocolate. Wait. Oh, I'll take a place on the floor under your shoe where you just walked out of the bathroom. We cannot, when we pack your shoes, just listen, when you pack your shoes in a suitcase, put them in a bag.
Every convention I go to, there's always like people sitting outside the restroom on the floor. I understand, especially if you're doing that outside the men's room, they have splashed their shoes in urine. You're sitting outside the men's room, you are sitting in the hot kitty juices of the
I'm really hungry now. I want bacon. Was that your question that you laughed through? Chocolate? Chocolate!
One moment.
Ready, go.
Okay, so if the characters were animals, what would the potato salad? If the Invader Zim characters were animals, what animals would they be?
I do not know what goes on in your mind. What fantasies you have unraveled. Zim would be a ferret.
There would be a kaiju.
Kaiju. Good. I like a meerkat. I want Zim to be a meerkat. Okay, good question.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, my question is, while working on Invader Zim, what was your favorite episode working on and why?
I have different reasons for the ones I like.
Like to work on them?
Yeah.
I liked Rise of the Zit Boy because that was just silly. I liked Planet Jackers because I'm a huge fan of Fargo, and I thought that was, what's my cup? Planet Jackers, I'm a huge fan of Fargo, so those guys that did the scene from Fargo, the guys that are Buscemi and the other guy, made me laugh so much.
Wait, Buscemi and Buscemi?
No, he Buscemi-esque. Remember when we did Planet Jackers? He was supposed to care about everybody. Why are you doing like that? Remember? It wasn't Fred, was it? No, Fred was the other guy. I don't know. But yeah, I like that. I also liked. I liked when. I liked Walk of Doom. But I like most of the animation of Walk of Doom. I like at the end where Gurr is selling chiclets and we're standing up and he's dancing.
I forgot what the question was.
It was, what shows did you like working on?
Well, I like working on Room with the Moose because as a colorist.
A room with a moose!
I was also a background painter in the show.
Dumb like a
on that
moose.
episode, I had to paint a white room. So I liked that episode.
Oh, I know a song. In a white room with our curtains, free bird.
Can I say something really fast?
It's not bad.
Yeah, I get it bad.
Or not, never mind.
Don't make that face. Let me try a different face.
Serious face.
Serious face?
Yeah. Guys make
You're out of time.
same things.
You're out of time.
Are we out of time?
Yeah.
We're out of time?
What?
Didn't we just say that thing?
What do you think?
Wait, I'm into the bridge now. Hold on. taking a dark turn.
It's like the scene in Miracle.
But it's back to happen.